Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Lifestyle Focus Friday. What's happening out there? Welcome to Lifestyle Focus Friday. I'm your host, Ronco Johnson. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? This is our Lifestyle Focus Friday edition, and this is what we talk about what millionaires and billionaires do and try to help you start to do some of these things that have made other people successful, right? We want to do other things that have made other people successful. So today we're going to talk about 5 money habits that have turned regular people into millionaires, right? We're going to talk about just regular stories. I've been getting emails and text messages from you guys, and I want to give you exactly what you asked for. One of our emails shared with me that they enjoyed the story edition and asked that I would share more stories that were more in line with what happens in real life. Well, today I thought I would take 5 different stories and we'll talk about them and discuss them a little bit in detail, but just enough for you to figure out that you can do it too. That's the idea, is that becoming a millionaire or making more money or having better habits with your finances is something that is an attainable goal. All you have to do is decide that you want to make this happen and start focusing in on it, and then become addicted to being around other successful people who have the same vision, because you can absolutely make this happen and change your lifestyle. So first of all, once again, welcome to Lifestyle Focused Wealth. It's Lifestyle Focused Friday. So before we get started, I'm going to charge you your admission. All you got to do is right below here, right below. Do me a favor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, okay? And when you do that, click the notification bell. That way we can make sure that you get all of our updated content, and we really need it. So our algorithm is saying that you're watching, but we really need you to subscribe. So subscribe right here. Click the button below, and do me a favor. If you're watching the show for your first time and you want to make a comment, this is live. Even if you're watching our replay, do me a favor. Put in the comments takeaways. Takeaways helps us to identify you, and maybe we can get your question or your statement announced on live. And some of you guys really do like that. So I like to try to address the people who are watching, and thank you so much in advance for sticking with us as our channel decides to grow. We can't do it without you. And, you know, I have to talk about our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community has been a wonderful treat. We're watching it grow every single day. And we want you to be a part of it. We want you to be a part of it. Why not be a part of a community where everyone in the circle is taking advantage of what millionaires and billionaires do? We're learning the advantages of private money and the tax efficiency of using this secret financial tool that everybody's not talking about. And we're using it in so many different ways. You might want to just be a part. You might just want to be a part. So sit back, relax, and unwind. We have a wonderful program coming up for you. And when we get back, we will be talking about when the lights go out. Are you ready? In our 5 stories that could help you become a billionaire, a millionaire, or, just successful. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Membership starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com. All right, so we're talking about 5 money habits that have turned regular people into millionaires. So our first story today is about a person by the name of Sarah, right? And first of all, thank you guys for tuning in and wanting us to share with you about these stories. So our first story is about Sarah. Sarah is a young entrepreneur who started an online business selling handmade jewelry, right? And instead of splurging all her profits, uh, we got a chance to have a conversation with her and talked about how can she reinvest into her business. And, from Sarah's efforts of thinking about reinvesting dollars that she spent back into her business, forced the idea of thinking about things from a comprehensive standpoint. What happens when you start doing that? It's not just taking money and dumping it into the stock market. Really and truly, what we have to start doing is thinking about all the advantages that make this happen. $1 adds up to two, $2 add up to four. So we want to save in every way possible to reinvest back into an asset that's bringing money back to us. So some people may think, what does this have to do with that life saving tool? Well, first of all, we want to create a banking system, and that banking system, it becomes the cornerstone of what we're doing, whether it be in business or our individual lives. That becomes the cornerstone. So what are we talking about here? Well, because she started reinvesting into her business, the question became, what's happening to the dollars that I'm spending as I'm reinvesting back into my business? I'm putting hundreds and hundreds of dollars back into my business, but I might not see any rewards for 3 to 5 years on down the road. Well, one of those ways where we were able to create a banking strategy using her insurance or whole life insurance that we kind of blend and design, that we've talked about here on our program. And if you're new to our program, we're talking about what millionaires and billionaires do. And these are some of the habits that they have, that the secrets behind the sauce, so to speak, right? So if you're thinking about it, she has this guaranteed product that has these tax efficiencies and these tax advantages that will allow her to continue to compound her money in an uninterrupted manner for the rest of her life, just by going and depositing revenue through her bank instead of the outside bank, through her own personalized private bank that we've created. So if you want more details of how that can get created, put down in the comments, create. But eventually what's happening is she was able to grow her business into a successful company, making millions of dollars in revenue. But because she's able to use these concepts over and over again, it's a wash and repeat, wash and repeat. So what's happening is, as her company's making more revenue, she's able to deposit these dollars into her company's bank or to her personal bank, the private bank that we set up. And then she's beginning to see not only profits in her business, but she's also beginning to see very large dividends that are paying out through her policy all the time for the rest of her life. So this allows her to do a couple things. When she needs new tools for her business, new vehicles, new supplies, she's able to pull from these infinite banking systems, if you will, becoming our own bank. By doing that, we don't have to ask anyone for a loan. We're able to go into it and pull money out. And when we pull money out, we take it in the form of a loan. So she's able to do these things and better position her business to help her consumers, to help you. So that was a wonderful story about Sarah. So we're gonna move on to story number 2. This is a couple that story number 2 is a couple that I understand, that I've known, John and Maria. They're a couple who decided to live below their means. Are you one of those folks? Are you one of those folks? I see you guys warming up in the content. I see you. Homestead living. What's up? What's up? What's up? I see you guys. I see you. What's happening, Sam? Good to see you guys, man. I tell you, it's always good to see my faithfuls hanging out with us over there. That's awesome. That's awesome. So our second story is a couple that John and Maria. They wanted to live below their means, so they started saving very vigilant. They were very vigilant about how they saved their money, and they wanted to avoid unnecessary spending or, um, they just didn't do things that were wasteful, and they wanted to invest their money wisely. So being a little bit frugal doesn't mean that you can't have the life that you're living. Sometimes you have to sacrifice just a little bit so that you can get above water and then above water and then ahead of it and moving forward. So I have nothing wrong with you frugal folks out there that think that you have to live below your means a little bit better, right? But the question still becomes, what did you do with the money that you saved? What did you do with the money that you saved? And for John and Maria, it was a difficult conversation because they saw putting money into this financial tool that they didn't know anything about as possibly wasteful money because they just couldn't get over the premiums involved. But it wasn't until we started to talk about, you know, what does your lifestyle look like? Their frugal lifestyle allowed them to retire early. They were able to enjoy a comfortable life without financial worries. One of the great things about it was when we started talking about the money that you're saving by repositioning your assets into something that you completely control. I think that hit home with John and Maria soon after that, is they started to figure out that, wait a minute, maybe we've been thinking about this all too long in a wrong way. We're saving all our money in our checking account, but we're not being rewarded for it. So what happened is when we started to make the comparison of having your own private banking system and being able to put dollars away, and then you're multiplying compounded interest and dividends paying all this extra money is coming from everywhere. You start learning how to pay down your credit cards. You start learning how to buy additional real estate. Or in John's case, he bought some other businesses using his cash value from his accounts. It was able to help them leverage out their lifestyle so they could do a few things. The dollars that they had put away would always be working for them. And then the dollars that they had put away, they didn't have to not use it. They were able to use it and still earn from the insurance companies that they had partnered with. So that was a wonderful story for John and Maria. Some of these ideas that I'm talking about. Hi, Mia. I see you out there. Thank you for joining us out here in Decatur, where it's greater. I see you out there. Hi, Donna. How are you? And my heart goes out to you, Donna. I have to tell you, I got your story this past week. Blessings. And hey, family, if you would, we are one big family. Our lifestyle focused wealth community means so much to me, and it means much to others. And I know that you suffered a loss, and I just want to pay my condolences right here online. And I want the rest of our community to wrap our arms and our hearts and our prayers around Donna right now and tell her how much we really want to support her family. And you know, losing someone is just it's not an easy thing. However, it's how you handle it that makes you stand up above the rest. So I want to say that to you. Hats off to you. Thank you so much. Mortgage escrow tip of the day. And if you need an escrow tip, Donna's the person I can tell you she can give it to you. She's always open for helping anyone in the community. And that's what this is all about. It's lifestyle focused wealth. It's not just about me. It's about all the other members that are here that have expertise. I said it before. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You're just simply in the wrong room. We don't want to be the smartest one in the wrong room. So don't get caught being the smartest person in your own room. We're going to move on to story 3. And story 3 is about Dave. I like Dave. Dave is a risk taker who invests in the stock market. And instead of following all the trends, what he did is he did his research on his own. He made some informed decisions of his own. And with his patience and his strategic investment habits, it kind of paid off for him and making him a millionaire in just a few years. But one of the different things, once again, you hear that story, but behind the scenes, Dave had some capital that we could put into the market. But instead of just throwing it into the market and taking a risk with his money, what we were able to do was, once again, use his private banking system that we had put together. And we had transferred money from a past retirement account to his private banking tool that would allow him to borrow money from it. His thing was he wanted to be a little bit more risky with his money. So by allowing the opportunity for him to go out and take loans from his policy and then put those dollars into action in the market, he was guaranteeing that he would always have some type of growth on his principal balance. In the meantime, he could take a risk in the marketplace, and if it goes up, great. And if it goes down, he still has time to recover because his money is still working inside of the insurance company's revenues or reserves. So he's continually getting a dividend every year for the rest of his career, but he's able to take certain dollars, put it into the market, and as it grows, he pulls it out, puts it back in his bank, increasing the value of his banking tool, and then allowing him to make other decisions with his lifestyle. If I'm going too fast, please tell me. But if you're in the comments, please, please, please leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. Maybe you want to share your story, or maybe you have a question that we can share on air today. Today we're flying through some things. But by the way, if you haven't done it, if you haven't thought about it, please go online and join our lifestyle focused wealth community. You know, we're working hard behind the scenes to make sure that you have value here to be a part of our community. It's only $16 a month as you pay for your annual subscription. You just go to www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com and you can be a part. Now, being a part means that you are able to go online and be a part of our Facebook group and communicate amongst our group. And that part is free. But if you're doing our group events, well, you're going to get magazines, you're going to get newsletters, you're going to get events, you're going to get invited to different events that I like. I like jazz. So my good friends, when they're coming in town and what have you, I'd like to invite you out to get the VIP treatment and see what it's like to live in this lifestyle, right? Cruises, events, some of our upcoming masterminds and coursework and all kinds of different things. So you want to be a member. If you join, you can definitely take advantage of the access. And I'm going to share it with you. You don't have to steal it. I'm going to share it with you. And if something that I'm saying goes to your brain and you want to sit down and talk with an expert, do me a favor. Go to lifestylefocusedwealth.com, schedule some one-on-one time with me, and I would love to sit down and design you one of these infinite banking systems for yourself. Or maybe you need some management ideas of how to put this thing in order so that it works properly for you. I know that we've had people who have gotten the system, and I want to make sure I say this. They may have had the policies or they may have gotten these things in place. But folks, we're not talking about buying term, investing the difference. We're not talking about if we're not worried about the death benefit of insurance at all. That's not what we're talking about. What we're doing in this community is talking about financing everything that you purchase so that your dollars continue to work while you buy the things that you need to live. This is a total different solution to a total different problem. And the problem is, as you're spending more money, you're not having any value to the dollars that you're spent. If I could create a situation where I could go to the grocery store, where I could pay for my child's nursery, where I could buy a new car, invest in a business, invest in stocks, at the same time, while guaranteeing that my money is going to continue to compound, that's probably a better option. And if I take a loan from it, it's not just like a credit card loan. It's not like a student loan or a housing loan. It's a much lesser rate, and it's tax efficient as well. And when the lights go out, you want to be ready. It passes to your heirs tax-free. Tax-free. So I think the time has come where we have to start really opening up our minds and say, what is the magic trick of what this thing that we call our financial tool, what is it really all about? And, when we're talking about these financial tools, thank you guys out there. I see you out there responding. Some person said to me, and I'm looking at about 10 different screens, I just get lost when you said the word life insurance because they're thinking someone has to die. Well, this program is about explaining to you what the values are that maybe you haven't explored. Maybe you haven't had the opportunity to sit down with an expert to give you more value of what this super secret product can do for you. But it doesn't stop with you buying the product. It is a lifestyle change. And we're talking about sitting down and going through it. But what happens once you start having these options, then you start bringing your own creativity to the table. And then things just begin to take off. So if you're following what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up down there or below. We're not definitely telling you what to do. We're just sharing with you some ideas of what the wealthy have been doing for many years. And that is going to help you put yourself in the most tax efficient way to start building your wealth, creating opportunities for you to transfer capital and your wealth to your heirs in a very tax efficient way. But we're not telling you don't do all the other things. We have to be a part of all those other things to make ourselves complete. Okay. I want to make sure I get that off my chest because we don't want to lose anybody. And if you're, like you said, if you're the smartest one in the room, probably time to change rooms. So our fourth story of the day. This person is a single person, single mom, Lisa. She's worked multiple jobs to support herself and her family. She created a very strict budget as well, one of our frugal partners here, but she saved every penny she could, and she started a side hustle. Our conversations about side hustles. One of the things I want to talk about is when we talk about side hustles, I want you to think about this. Walmart doesn't have a side hustle. It's just Walmart. When you go into Walmart, you see a grocery store, you see electronics, you see clothing, you even can get your car repaired, and so forth. These are just different departments in your business. I think the sooner we stop using these trigger words, because we got to be very careful with our words. Side hustle. To me, that means that you're not serious about what you're doing. But if I'm doing these things within my business, it is my business. So handle your business. Department 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's all your business. If you've never thought about it that way, give it a shot. Because if for those people who are out there driving the Ubers and doing the Door Dashes, that's still your business. And if you have it set up the way we've talked about it, it's probably all paying into your corporation. And then from there, your corporation can pay you a salary. And then those corporations also, they have expenses. And in those expenses, you can create benefit plans for yourself. And most people that I know that have these jobs, they'll tell you that they're working for the benefits at a place that they don't want to be. They're working for the benefits at a place they don't want to be. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? You don't want to work and be miserable all your life. That's not what we want, right? We don't want to do that. We would like to have the opportunity to do things that make us happy, things that we're proud about. And then, hey, why not control your outcome? So if you got all these side hustles, think about what you're doing, package it, put it inside your business, work on your business, all your business, and then you're good to go. And then sit down with an advisor to help you reshape the way you may be thinking. And that's what happened in this story with Lisa here. And I can tell you, with her determination and discipline, it led her to financial stability and eventually a lot of wealth. A lot of wealth. She still works today because she wants to, not because she has to. And she understood, not always understood, why she needed to have this bank, because she felt like the cash, as long as she had cash, she was good. You know, the story of being cash is king. Well, cash is not king. The longer you hold on to cash, every single day, the value of that dollar is going down. And we know that. The value of that dollar is going down. Why? Because here in the United States, we're continuously printing money. As long as we continue to print money, the cash value of your cash in your wallet is going down. If you went to the grocery store yesterday versus today, and you're buying milk and cheese and crackers and all the things, you've probably noticed that you're probably just getting cheese today. You can't get all three items because it costs more money, right? Because it's costing us more money. I know I feel it at the gas tank. We all do. Okay? We all do. So I want to share with you the last story today. This one is a story about a gentleman who's a pretty high earner who he could easily have been swept away by inflation, but instead he started to live very modestly. Mark is a guy who he saved a significant amount of his income as an employee, and he diversified some of his investments. He's got his money in several different pots. But when we first met, his pots had holes in them, if we could say that. So he was taking unnecessary risks with his income that after you've worked those years, you can't replace it. Well, we had to talk to him about, hey, why don't we go ahead and secure the bag and use this bag to create opportunities for you to go out and earn more. And those dollars that you begin to earn, that you bring it back home, put it back into your bank so that you can start to qualify for future dividends and growing your banking system. Well, he started to do this and nothing really changed with him. He still had his same habits. He still invested in the same way, but he could do it without being concerned that he was blowing his money. And he took a conservative approach that allowed him to build substantial wealth over time. So I'm just telling you, folks, there are so many ways to get it done. There are just so many ways to get it done today. So there is not one way and one shoe fits all, but all I'm saying to you today is, are you trying? Have you started? Get on top of it right now. Start planning. Have you done your wealth planning? Have you done your trust? Have you had a conversation with your family about your hopes, dreams, and desires with your capital? Have you started thinking about who's going to be the designated individual who helps you when your lights are dimming? We need to start having these conversations. And people, there's no more excuses about being scared to have these conversations or based on my gender or my race that we just don't know. Well, there's people like myself telling you every single day. And there's people being born every day. I think they say the average person, on average, there's four people born every few minutes and 1.8 people die every few minutes. So there's more people being born into the world than going out. But at the same time, we still got to start thinking about the two things that's going to happen. We got a start date and we got an end date. It's what you do in between, right? It's what we're doing in between. So listen, if you liked our 5 secrets, our 5 stories today, do me a favor, go into our platform. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And I challenge you to share it with some of your friends and begin to open up this community. Because when you start to share it, you don't have to tell one person. You don't have to tell 2 people. Some of you got 400 and 500 friends in your network. Just hit share and let them decide if they like it. You might be giving them the financial boost that they need. And you know what? I say to you, when you're pointing the finger at you, you got 3 pointing back. And I think that is helpful when we're sharing positive quality information that can help each one of us go further, right? I think that's just something that we need to live by. I think we just need to live by that code. Hey, is there any other comments out there today that if you could put down in your, if you want me to make a comment, I'm gonna leave it open for you guys just a few minutes. Put takeaways at the beginning, and I can take a look and see what your statements are, and if there's information that I can share with you or the rest of us out here. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me again on this Friday. What are your plans? What are your plans over the Friday? What are your plans over this weekend? Okay, my plan is to enjoy some smooth jazz this weekend. My plan is to get out here and enjoy the sunshine. Obviously, I'm going to be answering phone calls from you guys that like to call me after the show. And hopefully when you're out and about and you see me walking, come up and say hello. Just let me know that you get the chance to talk to us through our show or you're watching our show. I love to know. I'm approachable. So come up and say hello. Okay. Here's a question from how can you use your policy as a pension plan? Well, here's how it works. Your policy still is an insurance policy, whether you call it whatever you call it. But when you really start to understand dividends, I think I like to stay for the context of this program. I think I like to use the words that we're not looking up, the words that we do not understand, the policies that we don't understand. Once you start understanding that these are permanent whole life policies, these are dividend participating whole life policies. These are non-can type of policies that allow you to have a contract between you and the insurance company. And those dividend participating companies, you actually are in business with. So when they win, you win. When they're making money, you're making money. And they pay that back out to us in the form of a dividend, a tax-free dividend that's reinvested back in your policy. Well, those dividends, as long as that company continues to put those dividends into your pocket, they continue to pay that out to you for life. So if you think about it, if you got about $2 million of assets that you have spent over the last 10 to 15 years, those of you who are making, $50,000 to $60,000, I would challenge you to say, hey, how much money have I made over the last 20 years? Just add it up. This is where I'm getting the $2 million from. Well, if I had put it through my instrument, that $2 million is going to, depending on what carrier, what company, the company we use is at 5.4% right now. But you multiply that 5.4 times $2 million, that's about $108,000 a year, if my math is somewhere close. But that's going to be coming back to you in a tax-free passive income to your policy. You can call it a pension. You can call it whatever you like. I just call it that $108,000 coming to you for the rest of your life based off the accumulated amount of money that's passed through your plan. So that affords someone like myself and many others in our community to, take a trip to Switzerland and borrow against it, or get into different businesses and different business ideas. So you leverage it. Myself, I've done it in music. I've done it in sports. I love the fact that the dollars that I was able to use still to this day are still earning those dividends as I'm waiting on the returns from the revenue of other things that I've invested in, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, give us a thumbs up. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I'm reading all this stuff that's going through on my screen so fast. Hate is a strong word. Hate is a strong word. If you do not like your situation that you're in, it's probably a time to evaluate what needs to change. Why does it need to change? Whether that be your career, whether that be your financial situation, if it doesn't fit you anymore, don't try to make it fit. Get a bigger size, because your brain has maxed out where you are. And when you start to think about it this way, you're still growing. Allow yourself to grow. Don't be afraid. You can't be afraid to grow. You got to allow yourself to grow. But I'll just say, make sure you get a chance to partner with some other people who can help you do that in an effective way so that you're not alone. Who wants to be alone? Nobody does. Nobody wants to be alone. So thank you for putting that out there in our comments. And if we have any more questions that we can answer for you, just leave them down in the comments, put takeaways. And if you do that, or if you're in our group, our Lifestyle Focused Wealth group, I'll be sure to respond to you. I promise I will. Even off the camera, we'll be responding to you, okay? Well, listen, for today, I want to say thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part. And, without you, we couldn't do it. Without you, we couldn't do it. Absolutely. I want to make sure that you understand that, listen, your acknowledgement and you being in this room matters. Sharing this information with other people, it matters. It just matters. And you want to be an inspiration. Go out here and attack the world and share with them what you've learned from our programming, and hopefully it can help someone else. I really enjoy what I do, and I've enjoyed it over the last 26 years. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the top and hearing your stories. And if you'd like to send more information, you can always go online and you can look me up. You can go to roncojohnson.com, www.roncojohnson.com, and send me a message, send me an email. Look at all the things that we got going on. Even take a moment to look at our behind the scenes, our webinars, our masterminds. There's a lot of good information there. So we want to make sure you stay in contact, okay? So that being said, it's our time, as you can hear the music. So we need to wrap up. But listen, I really appreciate you. I hope you have a blessed and fruitful weekend. I'm Ronco Johnson. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? And I look forward to seeing you guys at the top. Take care. I'll see you next time.